Hey everybody, hope you're having an amazing and blessed day. Hope everything's going well for you. My name is Brian Whiting, and I just want to bring you some word that I hope blesses you, and I hope shows a perspective that brings life into your life. And I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty frustrated. I'm pretty frustrated with what's going on in our country because there's so much bickering, there's so much arguing, there's so much fighting. And really, it is so pointless. But it's not new. It's not surprising. It's been going on for generations and generations. And really, I find it fascinating, and maybe it just keeps jumping out at me because my whole message is that we need to stop asking what's right and wrong. Stop arguing over what's right and wrong and just ask what works and what doesn't work and what brings life and what doesn't bring life. And if you can look back on my past videos about that subject, but it just reiterates like over and over again. I'm watching stuff on TikTok, I'm watching stuff on YouTube, and people are just arguing. They're arguing their theology, they're arguing their point, and it's always a fight. It's always a fight. Who's right? And then we got the political baloney going on here. And we have people in our government that care more about themselves and than they do about the country. And if they don't get their way, specifically, they are perfectly willing to burn it all down. There is so many people in government and so many people that are backed by people that if it's not their way perfectly, they're willing to burn it all down. They think it's better to have a dictator so that they can get their way by force than to have to actually deal with other people and their ideas and opinions. And that's not new. That's not new. That's why we have dictators. That's why people are put in power so that other people can force their way onto other people and get their way. The problem with that idea is that nobody with ultimate power gives it back. Nobody that has ultimate power is like, okay, that was fun, here you go, you can have it back. And that's just history. That's time and time again. It happens, and it's not new. But yet we act as if it's a new idea. We act as if we're in a whole new world and nothing from history can show us how we are to act. But if we look at Christianity, we look at history of Christianity, it's the same story over and over again. Somebody has an idea and wants to enforce that into other people. But what that does is it will ultimately destroy everyone. And that's really the point. Because it doesn't matter if you're right. If you force somebody to do it, it becomes wrong. And why do I say that? Because that is the way God intended it. That's the way that God made it. See, here's the thing. We think we can force someone to believe the way we believe, to act the way we think we should act, to do the way we think they should do. But in the end, that completely backfires because you cannot control anybody. You cannot control anybody by force. Now, you can get them to do what you want, but it will come at a cost. Like, say you wanted somebody to stop doing drugs. To what degree, if somebody really wanted to do drugs, to what degree would you have to go to stop them from doing drugs? Put them in jail? chain them to the bed. Well, is that better than them doing drugs? Like we do that all the time. We think we're going to stop people from doing drugs because drugs are bad and drugs are going to ruin their life and it ultimately might kill them. So what we're going to do is we're going to destroy their life and ultimately probably kill them. And that's much better. Like, hello? No, it's not. No, you are still killing, stealing, and destroying. If somebody wants to destroy their own life, they are welcome to do it. And there is nothing you can do about it if they really want to. Now, we can persuade them, we can give them better options, we can tell them, hey, that's not a very good idea, I would recommend doing something else. But in the end, it is their choice. Because even if you lock them in a prison cell, you cannot control their mind. You cannot control their thoughts. You can persuade them, you can direct them, but in the end, we have very little power. And guess what? God knows that, and God designed us that way. And God does not want to force us to believe in Him. Like, think about that. There are so many times in history, there you go, that people are like, either you believe the way I believe or I am going to kill you. Now, is that really a heartfelt conversion? If I put a gun to your head and say, you're going to believe in Jesus and you're going to confess Him as Lord, or I'm going to shoot you. And you're like, well, my choice is death or to conform. And so you conform. Is that really a heartfelt conversion? Are angels, celebrating in heaven because of that conversion? Somebody forced by gunpoint to believe as God, like, oh, He's really given me their heart. No, that's not how it works. You have to want God, and that's been from the beginning. See, God gave us the choice in the garden. There was always a choice, and there is still always a choice. We think that if you don't accept Jesus as Lord, you're going to hell. Well, there always has to be a choice. There always has to be a choice. And I don't know if your choice is in this world or in the next world, but there will always be a choice. And actually, every day is a choice. Every day is a choice to follow Him or not. Because you can be saved when you're a kid and throw that away. And now people are like, well, let's argue once saved, always saved. No, it's not about you getting a check mark in heaven. The question is, when you stand before God in His glory, are you going to run to Him or are you going to run away from Him? And listen, that's not a choice I can make. That's not a choice you can make for somebody else. That's a choice every single one of us is going to make, does make, and every day has to make. And that's really the truth. So no doctrine, no theology, no dogma, no you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way, is going to change that. Because the option is still the same, and it's the same question that is in the beginning of the book. Are you going to do it God's way, or are you going to do it your way? And let me just give you a hint. If we do it God's way, it brings life. If we do it God's way, it works. And it works long term, because that is how He designed it. And He knows better than we do. Amen. I hope you have an amazing and blessed day. I guess that's it for my rant today.